Let's see a stream start. Yeah, hi Fritz. Alright, come on, Bluetooth. What's up, YouTube? How are ya? Okay, actually that's not a bad view. Okay, so we're going to take this. Use a quiet flame tonight. What's up, Nanabeth? Dragonfly. I always say Nanabeth. I don't know why. I still have you as Nanabeth at times. It's okay. How you doing? Oh, sound. Oh, sound is working. I actually remembered to put the mic on. That's funny. I want to get it right. All right, so we need to do a memorial. This is going to be a blown glass memorial. So it'll be interesting. We got to put this together. See how that works. This one's going to be colors I don't normally like gray. I don't like gray. But got to work it. So what's up, YouTube? How you doing? TikTok has been so glitchy today. I mean, it's been bad. All right, so we got to do a custom color first. This will be an interesting. So we actually have to use a feather to do the memorial. So this will be cremating a feather and turning it into the glass, which is the first time I think I've done on live stream. All right, we got super fans. TikTok. All right, here we go. So we are floating this around. We're going to be melting it in. And just going to blend a little bit in here. This is all the gray. This is the color I really need to get. Funny Bear, what's happening? Welcome in. So just a little bit more on here. We're going to drill mix this though. Daisy Girl, how are you? Welcome in from TikTok. A little bit more here. I want to use all this up. What's happening, Funny Bear? How's your day going? And what's happening, world of TikTok? It has been so glitchy on TikTok. It's been insanely glitchy. So I'm actually pretty happy with streaming on the tubes at the moment. At least it's running smooth. My day was going fantastic. It's been a good day. Hanging in there. It's been a hard week for you. I'm so sorry. All right, so we got this gray color. We're going to give it a little bit of a sparkle. I'm going to change the gray up a little bit. Got a little bit of the shimmer glass, which is kind of grayish. We're going to mix the two and create something new. Hoping it looks good. What's up, Lee? How are ya? Good to see ya. We're going to be making memorial. This is actually a blown glass ornament memorial. But we're actually going to be using a feather instead of ash. So we're pretty much going to be cremating the feather into an ash. But this is from a person that had a pocket. So this is the picture I'm working off of right there, a little cockatiel. So I'm going to try and match the colors up. Peppermint last night turned out good. The glow looks good. I just posted a video of it. Oh, thank you, Lee. Yeah, so we're making the memorial with bird feather. I have one feather to work with. So there, right there. It's not going to be much in there, but it'll be in there. What's up, Rocco? How you doing? Welcome in. I probably should have kicked on my outer flame. There we go. Just so when I need it, I don't have to use it all the time. We should use a little bit of it. Like that. Then we're going to bring it down. What's up, Creative? How are you? All right, we're going to take this. Oop, wrong one. Then we're going to use a drill. This is how I mix up my color when I want to blend 2 or 3 colors together. I use a drill. Because the drill spins 10 times faster than me. Actually faster than that. But, what's up, Irish Green? How are you? Mixing that in. Put a fresh battery in here so it shouldn't wear out. What's up, Diana? How are you? JoJo Smiles! What's up? Welcome in on the TikTok. All right, so that is all mixed up. We should have a really nice gray. Hi, Dwayne. What's happening? All right, so next step, we're going to attach a little rod to this. We're going to pull it out and create a thinner rod that I can use. Then we'll start incorporating all the rest of the colors. We got to add a little yellow in there, some orange. All right, so we have, yeah, I think that'll be enough. I think we'll be good. It's going to be plenty. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. I am making a memorial. This will be a blown glass ball, like a Christmas ornament, but with the cremains. Except this time we're using a feather. So we will basically break the feather down into an ash. Is the sword for sale? Nope. No, that's kind of my personal piece. Appreciate it though. All right, here we go. So we just have to pull this down into a usable rod. Yeah, it's just my personal. Behind me, I have a 4-foot sword made out of glass. I don't have a place to hang it right now, or I would have it on display. I just don't have a place for it. Hi, Red Squeak. Welcome in. So we're just pulling this down, breaking it down a little bit into a usable rod. Mad scientist? Yeah, kind of at times. Depends on the mood. What's happening? What am I making? I'm going to be making a memorial blown glass ornament, like a Christmas ornament style. Except this one will have basically, I don't know if I want to call it cremains, because we're going to be basically dissolving a feather in the glass. I'm going to use that little bit right there for the feather part. That's a cool gray. That's a good looking gray. So we just created that color. And the reason I'm doing gray is because the bird was gray. So this is the coloring that I'm going to be working with right there, that gray bird. We're going to add a little yellow and a little bit of white and a tiny bit of orange. So that's the photo I'm working off of. I got a little too long. Yeah, it's a pretty little bird. How much time to make the sword? The sword only took me 2 days. Glass, it doesn't take a long time to put a project together like that. All right, so this is how we're going to do that. So this is the one feather I have to work with. We're going to bring it in. We're going to kind of get it into a form where I can add it to the glass. I'll bring it way over here. So we're going to mix it in there right now. Yeah, so the way I built the sword is you build one half. You build both halves in one day. And then before you assemble it, you kind of line up the parts to make sure they're going to work together. And if they do, then you can assemble it. If not, you have time to fix it. What's up, Groves? Funked, thank you for the follow. All right, so here we go. We're going to put this in. We're going to kind of cremate that feather. TL, thank you. Had my hair my whole life. Here we go. So it actually did pick up a little bit of that feather in there. The rest of it as much as I can, and there we go. What's up, Lucky Lex? So that feather just got integrated into this glass. Blended in a little bit. This. Then we're going to add some white. We're going to go kind of custom on this. So we're going to add some white, then we're going to do yellow and blend it all together. Have ever had made a glass, you know what? Oh, yeah, long time ago, not anymore though. What's up, Joaquina? How are you? Jedi Knight, thank you. L to the B, how are you doing? We got our TikTok jamming, we got YouTube jamming. We're rocking tonight. How did I learn? I learned from my mother. She started when I was 2 years old, and so I pretty much grew up with this. It's been around my entire life. I was very lucky to have had that possibility and that experience. All right, there we are. We got that white in there. Now we're going to add this yellow. We're going to use all this yellow in there. And it's going to kind of mute the yellow down a little bit. How you doing, L to the B? Brian, how are you? Thanks for the rose and the heart me. Grab that. We're just going to blend. I know, Miss Vicious. How are ya? Thank you for that. I love that little air dude. Thank you so much, Miss Vicious. That's the first one I've seen of it. That came off. There we go. So we got to blend all this yellow in here. Rock Hounding PNW, how are ya? You're in the PNW as well. Me too, except I'm hunting Bigfoot. Not hunting, I'm on a search. Miss Vicious, thank you so much for the air dancers. I appreciate you. How you doing? Betty, how are ya? So we're mixing all this yellow in here. It's going to take a minute. It's kind of like twisting taffy at the moment. L to the B, thank you for the money gun. How are you? Bigfoot is partying with Elvis. There you go. Yeah, I wish. I'd be there too. Where do I sell my items? I'll show you a link. I can do that. Yeah, you can actually do obsidian. I've done it once or twice. Thank you, L to the B, for the corgis. For the corgi, appreciate you. See if I got this. Oh. Nope. Not it. 1 second and I can link it. All right, so we got to use the drill again. This is the yellow. Actually, one more time. I'm going to add a little orange to it. I kind of want to get this color right. 1 second. So we are doing a memorial. And that is meaning I added a little bit of what's called ash. It was a feather, but it turned to ash. And we already cremated the feather into this. We're going to add a little bit of orange here to punch it up just a little bit. This is what I'm working off of for colors. So we want to go the gray, yellow, and white, and a tad bit of orange. So that's the color I'm working off of. Eli the Fly, how are you? All right, let's mix it up. Thank you for the roses, Dragonfly. A little wobbly at the moment until the glass gets all straightened out. Serious, the Walt grills should sponsor them. This drill has been through so many color mixes, and it still lives. Now that's a torture test. If it can survive my stuff, that's a good testament for how strong it is. Perfect. What's up, Tess? Lucky Lex is in the house. Okay. So we attach this here. Then we're going to pull that into a usable rod as well. And then I can start assembling everything together. Just hanging out, Tess? There you go. All right, so we give it a little bit of a pull right here. Not much, just a tiny bit. Yep, I did make the chandelier behind me. A long time ago, though. That chandelier is probably 15 years old. We're in the Pacific Northwest area? Yeah, me too. I'm up by Everett. I appreciate that. Tess, Kay, thank you for the heart knee. How are ya? Okay, so we're gonna pull this down. This is that yellow, kind of orangey yellow color we created just now. We're gonna pull this down into a usable size. Then I can start the process of actually making the ornament. Bring this all the way down. So this is a custom color mix. On memorials, a lot of times I have to do custom. Pull that off there. There's no more feathery stuff right there. That away. Hopefully we have a light yellow to this. So the back end, you can kind of see it starting to go yellow. The front's kind of orangey right now. As it cools down, the color will come into play. But it needs a little bit to cool off. Make sure the color's all good. And if it's not, I can just grab yellow. In fact, I'm probably going to grab yellow anyways, just to be safe. Give me 1 second. I got to go grab a color rod. I'll be right back. So this is the bright, bright yellow. To me, it's a little too bright, but if the other yellow doesn't turn out, then that's a good option. What's happening? Good evening. How are you? Do I have a website? Yes, I do. I'll link it right here. There you go. I know JoJo likes yellow. JoJo's a huge yellow fan. So again, this is what we're working on. So that bird is the color we're shooting for. Let's grab the white. Make sure I have plenty of that. This can go off to the side. Got to add white. Yeah, it's a cockatiel. Well, I'm not making the cockatiel, I'm making the memorial. I already disintegrated the feather into an ash. No, I don't do any dab rigs. I don't have any problem with it, but the industry, it's just not my thing. All right, so there, see how I said it was going to go yellow again? And there we go. So you can see the yellow came into play. It looks good. I'm okay with that, I think. We'll see how it looks as I get started. So first things first, we're gonna start breaking this down. Yeah, it's gonna be a Christmas ornament that is got spirals running through it. Thank you, Nick. 329. Thank you. Thunder Pickle. Thank you. Do I like SpongeBob? Yeah, who doesn't like SpongeBob? Of course. All right, we're going to bring this down a little bit because it gets a little hot. Bring this out here. Take your time. Melt it up. Christy, how are ya? Daisy girl, thank you for the roses. What's up, Shift? Nano. I am making a memorial orb, if you will. It's like a Christmas ornament. And we disintegrated some of the bird feather into the glass. So it created like ash, like cremation. And so I'm going to take that and I'm going to incorporate it into this ornament. And we're going to make an ornament out of it, a bigger one. How long does it take to learn? Christy, I always say give it a good 6 months. But, you know, it depends on how much you practice. I'll say this 100 times. It's like trying to learn a musical instrument. You could go in and pick a guitar up and, you know, spend an hour a week for 6 months and get a certain level, or you can spend an hour a day and get faster at it. Fluffy, what's up? How are you doing? Doreen, how are you? Thunder Pickles. Isn't the room really hot? No. I'll show you guys something out before we get too far. I'll show you a little trick. Couple things, since we got enough people on here. So first things first, how I see through the glass into the fire. I have special lenses called didymium, and they filter out certain wavelengths. And I'm going to show you what that does right now. So we're going to bring this into the fire, and you can see it's filtering out all that bright yellow. And that's what my glasses are doing right now. Now I have a little bit darker lens than this, but that's essentially what it does. Kimberly, it's just practice. Flounder Pounder, thank you. Lauren, hello. All right, now we got enough on there. Enough heat. We're built into it. I think we're good. All right, so we're going to start adding color. What's that? It's going to be a memorial ornament. What's up, Michelle? I saw that, Helen. I got it all set for you. Yep, I got you. I already printed it out. Should leave tomorrow. Vladimir, what's happening? How do you add color? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to add color as we speak. Oh, I was going to show you why the room's not hot. Sorry, that's where I was. So this torch is very specialized. It creates, not only does it create the fire and the heat, but it also cools itself down in the process. So if you've ever had a welding torch, you know you can't do that with it. And you would never be able to do that with any other torch. This one's very specialized. Don't try this at home. Don't try it at all. I am a trained professional, but yeah, it's very safe. So that's why the room's not hot. Flame's completely focused. All right, let's add color. How you doing, Miss Vicious? Long time no see. I'm happy to see you. All right, let's add some white. So this is how you add one method of adding color. There's several, but this is just one. And the trick on this, so if you're right-handed, let's say you're dominant right hand, this has to travel through the flame in the same spot because the flame changes temperature higher and lower. So you got to drive it through the flame to keep the heat base in the colored rod even. And you move the opposite hand. That's the one that does all the movements. So it's just like grabbing a pen and paper. If I gave you a pen and paper and said write your name, you would have to move the paper to write your name, not the pen. The pen would stay stationary. What's up, DC? How are you? Share Bear, how are you? Thank you so much. Thank you for the heart news, by the way. How much that chandelier would cost today? I don't know. I wouldn't make one. I don't have the kiln or the oven to replicate it anymore. At one time I had this gigantic kiln that I called the coffin because it was about as big as a coffin. Little G Smokehouse. Sorry, took me a second. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to replicate it without that piece of equipment for sure. Because once you get done with the glass, it does have to run into an oven or a kiln to temper. And that's the problem. How long have I been doing this? 31 years. Do I ever work with cremains? David, I am working with it right now. This is a memorial piece that I am currently working on. Is it a fireproof apron? It's pretty fireproof. If something falls on it, it won't let me get burned. I can tell you that. All right, let's add the gray here. So this is the gray that I came up with that bird. I think it looks good. You went to a flavor town in Vegas? Well, good for you. I have not been. What other colors am I going to put into it? We're going to use white, gray, yellow, and a little orange. And this part does take a little while. So this is just layering the color on one section at a time. But it is a memorial, so it should take a while. And I only had that one feather to work with, so if it messes up, I got to tear it apart and redo it. Purple Eagle, how are you? There we go. Striping it down. May do a dual-sided, like do white and gray, and then add a little bit of yellow in there. Yeah, some of your messages are showing up. Newbie here, what are you making? I am making memorial ornament. So this has basically ash from a bird in it now. We were sent a feather. I turned it to ash by running it through the fire with the glass. And now we're making it into a memorial. So this will hang wherever they want it to, in sunroom, wherever. Yeah, sometimes it gets filtered weird, Miss Vicious. So there we go, bringing it down. Since the bird was primarily gray, we're going to use a lot of it. I will definitely be twisting it a lot. Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of filtering going on. Do you get sunburn from the flame? Yeah, actually you do get sunburn. This was a cockatiel. I'll show you a photo, the photo I have to work with. Yeah, you do get sunburn. So I wear sunblock every day, even during the winter. When it's snowing outside, I wear sunblock. Have to wear sunblock. So this is the bird I'm working on right there. That's its owner. You can tell it loved it. He loved that bird. So that's the bird we're working with. So trying to get it to look really spectacular. A lot of people, when they do their memorials, send me photos, and it helps me out, especially if it's like a unique color. I can sometimes match that color and get it looking really, really good. Sleepy Manny, thank you. All right, so I got to add a little bit more gray. Then we're going to add some accent colors in here. We're probably going to do some yellow, a little orange, and go all the way around. And again, this is going to take a while. On a memorial, I do not rush through it, like go as fast as I can. It should look pretty fantastic. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. So here's where we're at so far. We got color running through. There's the gray. We got the white. We're going to add some of the accent colors, and I'll blend the rest of it later. This is the custom yellow I did here. We're going to try it. I think it looks okay. I'm not disappointed in this color, to be honest. I might do a little bit of this and a little bit of the brighter yellow too. Depends on how I'm feeling. There we go. Got that. Bring it through. I'll try one more. If it's not showing up any better, we got to go to plan B with the other yellow. Yeah, I may have to go to plan B. Gonna add this in there. I do have the glasses on to protect my eyes, correct? Have I ever burned myself? I've got tiny little burns. Oh, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're trying to. Someone's going to be at the 1,000th subscriber. When I started the stream, it was at 990. So someone's going to hit the 1,000 mark, which was the milestone for YouTube. But yeah, these glasses are on here to protect me. And it allows me to see into the fire. It's kind of like X-ray vision. Both. The glasses are actually both. I had the Meta Ray-Ban glasses converted with lenses specifically for glass blowing, or technically this is called lampworking. Thank you, Kimberly. Do I know who my first subscriber was? Yep, I sure do. All right, so we're adding the yellow. I don't want to do too much yellow here. I want to surround the rest of this too. So now we got white, gray, and a little yellow. We're going to come back and put a little white on that side again. Then we'll add a lot of gray and a yellow and maybe incorporate a tiny bit of orange. So here we go. Just have to come in and add a little white. That happens. Like that. Set that one off to the side, and grab a fresh one. Start over. Obviously Sassy, thank you for the Go Popular. How are you? Obviously Sassy is someone that's helped me a tremendous amount on my live streaming. She is a TikTok coach. So if you want to learn about that, you should follow Obviously Sassy if you want to get coached. Learn about TikTok, especially if you want to grow as a content creator. Sarah, hello, how are you? Omnia, how are you? I am making a memorial ornament. So this has ash from a parrot, not a parrot, cockatiel. It's not quite a parrot. And then over at TikTok, we got Dragonfly Creation and Grove's Glass Gallery, who are on their glassblowing adventure. You should give them a follow, especially if you want to see what glassblowing is like while you're learning. Lucky Lex is doing some amazing stained glass art and other artistic polymer, I think I said it correctly, art. So you should give her a follow as well. Okay, so we got the white on there, making sure I don't have any gaps. So we're just going to go all the way around this. I'm just going to kind of evenly stripe this. And it does take a while. Did I go to school? No. I learned from my mother. I did already apply the ash, yes. That's like one of the first things I do. All right, let's add the gray in here. I actually had to take a feather and turn it to ash, though. You just don't even talk. I'd watch for hours. Not that you're talking bad, it just disrupts the art. Bye, Nate. You don't have to watch. I'm going to talk all I want. My channel. What's up? Thank you. All right, here we go. So we're going to add the gray on here now. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to put a tiny bit of yellow back in here and some orange. I think one stripe of orange. All the way through. Like that. See how much room I have for yellow. Trying to see one more gray, and then we'll add the yellow. The trick is going to be spiraling this thing up. So I only got one shot at it. There we go. So let's add the yellow. You like the honeycomb lights? Yeah, I do too. They're actually kind of fun. Is this similar to lampwork beads? Yes. Similar equipment, just bigger. Okay. Thank you for liking the lives, obviously, Sassy. If a conversation doesn't make sense, it's because we are multi-streaming. We're streaming to multiple platforms at the moment. All right, let's add the yellow. Should be pretty blended all the way around afterwards. I just have to make sure I don't have a big old gap in here. I do, right there. There's a little color gap right there. Didn't like it. No problem. Have a good evening. Thank you, Miss Vicious. I appreciate you. Good night, Miss Vicious. Almost lost it there for a second. So now I'm just trying to heat up the core. Yellow Bob, what's up? Or Yo Bob. John, how are you? Christina, how are you? So that is all the colors going through there. Now we're going to come through and I'm going to add a touch of orange because this is what I'm working off of. So we got the cockatiel. This is what I'm making from the picture. There's a tiny bit of orange in there. So I think I want to add a touch of orange. Just to give it a little bit of it. Here and just add a tiny little strip of it. One over here. Balance it out. There we go. Oh my God. Who sent that? Thank you so much. All right, whoever sent the dinosaur, I appreciate it. That was awesome. How much fuel do I burn through to do something like this? That's actually a good question. I'll let you guess. In a 6 to 8 hour day, how many gallons of propane do you think I go through in a full day? 6 to 8 hours. And this is just propane. All right, so now we got it all preheated. We got the stripes running all the way around. We're going to start at this top, and we're going to pull it down and give it a nice spiral. That's right, Irish Green. And we're going to bring it 2, 1, 8, 6. Give it a few seconds here. Obviously, Sassy, I am making a memorial Christmas ornament, basically. It's an orb. So we took a feather from that cockatiel and I cremated it basically in the flame and we added it into the glass. Don't want that one. So the actual amount of propane that I go through in a 6 to 8 hour day is roughly about 1.5 gallons. It's not too much. So a barbecue sized tank will last me, roughly 2 to 3 days. All right, so we're going to create this little spiral here, bringing all those colors front and center. Turn that off because there's no ash in it. So yeah, it doesn't burn a lot of gas. It's a lot of oxygen. Propane, not so much. Oxygen, a ton of it. So about 10 times that in the amount of oxygen. It's about a 10-to-1 ratio. So a standard welding tank, I'll blow through in a couple hours. So there, you can see the spiral just got launched all the way up there. Now we got to kind of bring the back end into a little bit of a spiral. And then I can start getting this thing ready to blow out into an orb. I'm going to attach that there. Keep it nice and tight. I'm going to come over here and I need to trim this down a little bit. Have I ever accidentally dropped one? Yeah. Oh, that's the little black and white chandelier. I do have an HVO system, but right now I'm using liquid propane or liquid oxygen. Yeah, so that would be the standard big oxygen tank, but I use liquid when I'm on compressed, kind of. But I do have an oxygen generator. And that has saved me thousands of dollars every year. And it went on, it needed some maintenance, so I haven't been using it for a while. And now that the maintenance is done, I need to use up all the oxygen I had on hand before I start it. All right, so we tapered this down a little. This will allow me to actually blow this out evenly and get it into a ball shape. Yeah, this is a memorial for Pet Bird. This is the hard part because the wall thickness is so uneven, it does not blow out even right away. It's going to take like 5 or 6 tries. And then we bring it out, give it a little twist. Bit more, then some air, actually that blew up pretty good right off the bat. I'm not disappointed with that. I could live with that. What's up, Elena? How are you? How long have I been blowing glass? 31 years. What's up, Willard? Elena, thanks for the heart me. How are you? So again, if you are on TikTok, especially with the new changes coming on TikTok, if you are not following, obviously, Sassy, you are missing out, especially if you want to be a content creator. You want TikTok coaching. If you do not follow her, you are going to be stuck. She will definitely help you get through the hard parts. So you definitely got to follow her, especially if you want to learn. All right, so this part we have to kind of mellow out. Started blowing glass 2 years ago. Awesome. Welcome to the club. Happy. We need more glass people. 3 years ago. Sorry. Yeah, obviously Sassy's amazing. She's a great TikTok coach. And a good content creator by herself. You know, not even coaching. All right, let's blow this open a little tiny puff of air. Little bits of air. You don't want to push hardly any air into it. I only need to shape it. I don't need to expand it. I don't need to change it. Just got to shape it. Bring this mold out. I'm going to use this to help shape a little bit. Created the crazy straw? That's awesome. All right, so this little carbon mold will help me shape it a little bit. Kind of like you do with a marble, except this time we're just using an orb. So I want this super round. Always want to know how to do that. Crystal Castles. Man, do I like the Crystal Castle? I like all music. Red Sox Kitten, thank you for the follow. So that is my perfect mold right there. Bouncing a little bit right there. That's okay. All right, so we got half of it done. We got a nice spiral at the end. Little creative spiral. Then we got to open it up. I'm going to reattach another tube to it so I can get the other side pretty round. So we got to put a blow tube on this end. Got to be really careful with this. Don't want to really distort it too much. There. A little bit of a whistle. Okay, that's bad timing for TikTok to give me my puzzle piece, my CAPTCHA. Sorry guys, I got to do this CAPTCHA real quick on TikTok. Perfect. That is the glass making noise. Got a little attachment right there. And then we're going to burn this end off. Also running a Mirage. Yeah, this is the Kabuki. I had a Mirage for like 10 years. I loved it. It was a good torch. Tea is done. No kidding. That's a good one. That's funny. Tea is done. I love that. So we're going to separate this now. Get this end round. Now this portion does contain ash in it, so I'm going to put that off to the side. And I'll come back and make something else out of that later, like a little bonus piece. But because that does have part of the ash from the feather in it, I don't want to throw it away. I don't want to be disrespectful. Just got it like a year ago. Yeah, the Mirage is a great torch. All right, so the trick on this is we just got to heat it very gentle. Don't want to overheat it. Nice and easy. Small puff of air. Then we're going to get it round. My sunglasses they're meta glasses, but they do have special lenses fit in them to allow for me to see into the fire. They're called Dididium. They're used a lot, kind of like, pretty close to kind of like an ND filter. What's up, Brian? How are you? Thanks for the heartbeat. Yeah, I don't want to take anything that has ash in it, throw it away. That would be Very disrespectful. So I'll take that little bit and I'll turn it to what I call like a comfort stone or something, like a little flat disc. You can put someplace, carry it, whatever you want to do with it for the customer. But I'm not going to take someone's loved one, whether it's a pet or person, and throw it in my water bucket and throw it away. That would be, to me, that would be horrendous. I would be mortified if that happened to me. I would not be happy. Yeah, it would be, I would be very upset. All right, so right now I'm just kind of fine-tuning this, trying to get it as round as possible. There, we got the little spiral going right there. Colors running through. Just got your studio up about 3 weeks. Awesome. Happy you did. That's awesome. All right, let's give it a small puff of air, see if we can get a little bit of roundness going. There, we're looking good. What colors am I using? I'm using gray, white, yellow, and a touch of orange. So I'm trying to get this like that. That's the bird that I'm working on. So the bird, I got a couple feathers. I used the torch to put the feather into the glass and cremated it, essentially. And I incorporated it into the glass. Just trying to get it super round. I got one little bobble on here. It's pissing me off. There we go. Finally. Well, it's the way I would want to have my loved one treated, whether it's cremation or not. North Star? Yeah, mostly. The gray is a mixture of North Star and Electrum. North Star, Oregon Gray, and Electrum. I did a blend because I wanted to get a certain color shade of it. Yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. That looks okay. I'm happy. Everybody give Brian Weed Handmade Glass Art a follow. He actually is the singing glass blower on TikTok. Unlike me, you will never catch me singing. I sound like a broken record. It's that the shrooms are really playing with. I'm really playing with fire. I do not like that one. This is better one to grip this with. Much happier. All right, so I got to separate this. This is always the fun part. Just put a hook on it. all done. So I can't leave it out too long, but there is the ornament. You can see the red, the orange, the yellow, and the white and the gray coming into play. Got to pop that in right away. That one needs to go in fast. Yeah, that came out good. So that's what we emulated it from, that little cockatiel right there. That's where the feather came from. Park that over there. Okay, so that part's done. We're done with the hard stuff. Now we can have some fun. Move this stuff out of the way. This I gotta pop in the kiln. This is the remainder of the ash in there. Gotta pop it in the kiln. We'll come back to it and turn it into a comfort stone or something. Push this very back. Because it's a ball, it likes to roll all over the place too. Not making my life any easier. All right, let's get that out of the way. I got some of this gray color. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with that gray. We'll figure it out later. Okay, so I got to do a few more Christmas ornaments. One more peppermint swirl, and then some peppermint sticks. We got a couple of ornaments to do. These are fast. This won't take. This is not a long project. Mushrooms are glass, kind of great combo. Take a microdose. That I wish not. Not for me. That would be bad. That would not be good. Make an elephant with the gray? Yeah, maybe. It's a cool gray. It's a one-off color pretty much. It's definitely not a standard color. Jenny and the Jets, thank you for the chili. Okay, let's go through. We're gonna take this, we're gonna heat it up, preheat it, we're gonna stripe it with white and red, and we're gonna turn it to the peppermint swirl, which is located on my bench. Pull this down. Like that. Next step, burn it off. That right there, I always tell people, if you're beginning to learn glassblowing, if you're learning, that right there is super important to learn. It's called pulling a point. When did I start doing this? I started when I was about 8. But I didn't make too much at that time. I grew up with it. So it was not, you know, I always tell people I tried to make little worms and snakes because I thought it'd be cool as a kid, but they ended up turning out like sperm. Everybody kept laughing at them. But I was 8 years old. I didn't know what the hell a sperm was. So, who knew? All right, so my glasses. Let's cover this while I have a moment. My glasses are made out of didymium, and they filter out all kinds of different light. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring it into the fire, and you can see that I am filtering out all that bright yellow. And that's how I can see what I'm doing. So it filters out all that super bright yellow color. No, my wrists don't hurt at all. I'm good. You know, if I don't work, it's like if I take a week off, then it hurts. It's when I take time off that it sucks. Yeah, I could make a seal. That would actually be cool, honestly. All right, let's go through. We're going to add in some stripes. Yeah, seal would be cool out of that gray too. Hey, what's up, Queen? How are you? To be kind, thank you for the follow. Here we go. Going to add this in. Nice and mellow. We're on my speed now. We're just kind of chilling. This is the take your time moment. I don't have to think too hard about doing this portion. It's like second nature. So we're striping white on here, then we'll do red. Again, the red is a little tricky because it loves to go transparent and it will strike to a red color later, but right now it's going to go transparent. Kind of disappear. Thank you for all the hearts, I appreciate that. Kind of cool actually. So this is what we're making now. So this is the peppermint swirl. Glass warm to the touch when holding it? No. The glass, so glass is unique. It does not heat up like metal. It doesn't creep up and down. Actually, we'll pull this ghost off for the moment. Put this guy front and center because that's what I'm making. But even the torch itself isn't hot. You know, if you know anything about welding, you know you can't do that on any welding torch. So it's just nice and comfortable. There we go. So now we're going to add the red. Again, the red is going to go transparent. It's going to kind of disappear. How the hell is everybody doing tonight? I didn't say anything. How y'all doing? Type 1 in the chat if you are doing good. Type a nice 1 in the chat if you are doing well. If not, I'll try and make your night better. We'll try and do some goofy stuff. Oxygen and propane. Where's my studio located? I am located in Washington State, Pacific Northwest. Works of art, thank you so much. I'm glad to see everybody doing well. You ever been around those people that... You ever been around someone that is kind of a friend, but they love misery, where they like it when people are doing bad? I hate that. I'm the opposite. If you are doing good, I am so happy for you. That's like amazing to me.
That last few minutes might have been a little confusing.
Because that stuff rubs off on people. So if everybody's happy, you're going to be happy, right? Kind of. At least I'm hoping that. Do the Prince Rupert's drop? I don't do the Prince Rupert's drop. And I'll tell you, I think it's dangerous. I think the Prince Rupert's drops are dangerous. When they explode, if you don't have safety glasses and a whole bunch of stuff on, can you imagine one of those little bits of glass getting in your eye? It would be bad. That'd be bad news written all over it. So I don't want a kid or anybody getting a hold of a Prince Rupert's drop and, you know, having a major problem. They're really cool for stuff, but yeah. I know it's like a competition, right? Yeah, I've been parting ways with negative people, even though I've known them for a long time. I can't do it anymore. I just can't. Can I do 3 colors on an icicle? Of course I can. Oh, you guys want to see the icicle from yesterday? Holy crap. Forgot about that. Yeah, I know. Bad vibes are bad vibes. No, I have not. True fact, I have never smoked anything in my life. Nothing, ever. It's not being It's not like it's crude. I just never appealed to me. Yeah, definitely got to protect your piece. All right, so now we got that spiral running all the way around. Then we're coming through, got a little spiral at the end. This is what's going to create the spiral on the end of the candy. Well, I don't know about that. I can only tell you that I love when people are doing well. I think it's amazing. I'm happy for people. I think it's awesome. And yeah, I've been around lots of people that just love the negativity. Especially if they're doing bad, they want to bring you down with them instead of allowing you to bring them up. But that's here nor there. All right, so now I'm melting all this in. We're kind of collapsing it a little, bringing it down. Hey, it's going to thicken the piece up, and then it's going to allow me to blow it out and create that candy shape. So I don't want it round, I want it candy shape. Now I'll show you something you will never get out of your head if you're watching me. So that is the strawberry shortcake hat. You'll never unsee it now. Strawberry shortcake. Now it's in your head. Okay, I got a hose that's out of control here. All right, there we got the nice spiral going. And see, I wanted to flatten this end. What's up? No, I gave up my glory hole. It's too expensive to run. Way too expensive. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. We're going to pop a little hole in it. There we go. That's where the hook will eventually end up, but for right now, that's going to allow the glass to breathe while I burn this section off. Pop that out. Now we're just going to attach a little punty right there. Burn this off and create that spiral. So we bring it through. Heat it up, and then I'll create that second spiral right now. Going to leave a little bit of a nub. We'll use gravity to kind of force it back into place. So there's the nub, and then we'll just kind of angle it a little bit this way, and it will suck itself back down. See, it's all bringing itself in. We're getting a little bit of that red to show up too. This one's showing up a little more than normal. Not disappointed in that. So now we got that peppermint candy shape. That's where I want to be. Got to keep it spinning or it'll fall in the wrong direction. All right, we're good. Now we're going to add a little hook to it. This is where that hole was earlier. Take that. Flip it around. Pull that off. Make sure it's straight. Tuck it in there. I've been pretty on fire with these hooks lately. Let me burn that plenty off. Melt it in. So now we got that. Now it's not going to show all the red. Again, it has to go into the kiln, but that's what it'll look like once all the red strikes into place. You can see it starting to come out on the sides. It needs to soak in the kiln. This is that glow-in-the-dark icicle from last night. Let's pull this guy down. I don't think it'll fit there. No, hook's not big enough. So I have to hold it. So we did glow-in-the-dark and uranium. Now you can see it's super bright. So this will actually glow in the dark too. Yeah, you can definitely see it's pretty intense. So uranium trim, glow in the dark center. It looks good. Yeah, this one's nice. This was the glow in the dark peppermint that we'll be introducing. I don't know if you can see it kind of glowing. Maybe that direction. Hard to see. But yeah, this is the glow in the dark. Because all the ghosts glow in the dark. These guys down here all glow in the dark. Can bring this back out. We'll put the green up today. So yeah, you can see they illuminate pretty well. And then they do actually glow in the dark once the lights are out. The fun ornaments. No radiation in that one. The uranium glass has a tiny bit, but less than your phone would put off. No, not really. There's not enough radiation in there to even register. Okay, this hose is pissing me off. It's like right in my way. Okay, got to make some other ornaments. Now we just have to do the peppermint stick. I definitely have to do this. It is uranium glass, yes. Typically called Vaseline glass. Did I ever get a carousel worked around for the ghosties? No, not yet. Yeah, the ghosts are fun. They're new this year and actually doing really well. The ghosts have turned out to be one of my most popular ornaments at the moment. Hello, what's up? Lazy Susan could definitely work. I'd like to see if I could get a motorized one to kind of at a nice even pace. What's up, Joe Danger? Nahal, thank you. Hello. I'm going to bring this down. Like that. Then this is a simple one. This is just striping all the way down and then twisting it up. It's a peppermint stick. Just bring it up, bring the whole tube up to temperature. Then we can apply the color safely. Right now I'm making the ornament, peppermint stick ornament. I am pre-launching Christmas ornaments this year because during November, December, it's so hard to keep up. November and December are madhouses for me with making ornaments. So I'm trying to pre-plan, get some stuff done ahead of time. Unfortunately, these are already pre-sold. Not unfortunate, it's fortunate, but bringing it down. Like that. There. Super simple. How long does it take to make one? I'll be done in the next 5 minutes or less. How do you stay cool despite the flame? It's not that hot. Yeah, I don't do, so many people make those. There's no point in me doing it anymore. I've done stuff like that in the past, but it's just the market's flooded. Oh, thank you, Amelia. I appreciate that. I don't have a problem with the industry, it's just flooded. No, it doesn't take long at all. You don't want to have glass sitting out too long. It tends to cool and it's going to want to crack if it sits out too long. So you want to work it as fast as possible, but make it comfortable too. You know, you got to make it nice. But you don't want it to sit out too long, because it will crack. That's no fun. Nothing worse than getting like 90% of a project done and then hearing this tink. Just like that. So again, this is the red. It does not like to come to life until it sits in the kiln for a while. It goes 100% transparent while it's worked in its hot form, and it will come back to red after it cools off. But for right now, it is just transparent. What's up? How are you doing? You love the videos? Awesome. I'm trying. I got to categorize all the videos. I have a lot of work to do on YouTube. I have a lot of work to do on there. I know. Well, you get over it, Lucky Lex. Yeah, the first couple cracks are, you get more angry than disappointed. And then once you get kind of used to it, you're just like, all right, whatever. You move on. It's part of the job. All right, so we start there. We got the spiral right at the very top. This is just straight lines down. We're going to put a little attachment rod, typically called a punty, on there. Then we're going to spin the whole thing down. Yeah, it is part of life. Yeah, when the things crack, and just kind of look at it and go, whatever, move on. All right, so again, this is attachment rod. We're going to spin it all the way around. There we go. I just have to make sure it's got an even heat base all the way through it. Yeah, you just accept it. That's right, Lucky Lex. Go on my profile, click on my profile, and you'll see a link to my Etsy in there. I have an Etsy store. Yeah, we're doing Christmas ornaments at the moment. I'm actually filling a few orders. All right, so now that I got the heat base, we're just going to start twisting this up. And it's just a simple method of rotating both hands. One has to rotate a little bit slower than the other one, but they do have to maintain the same pace as well. So we get that spiral. I'm going to taper this down a little bit so I can burn it off really clean. So we start right there. It's not closed off. This is where I'll burn it eventually. Got to put a hook on it. And then the red will come into play later. I'm actually going to be making one of those in like a couple minutes, Patrick. A glow-in-the-dark one. So if you are on TikTok and you want to watch for a little while, I'm going to be on YouTube because I have to do the adult stuff. So if you want to watch on YouTube, you are welcome to come over and join us over there. I got to do glow-in-the-dark adult thing. There we go. Bring it in. Attach. Use it. We got a nice round hook there. Okay. Yeah, this is an ornament. Yes, Dragonfly, that is the link to the YouTube. Just look at what Dragonfly pinned up there, Fiery Guy 13 on YouTube. Thank you so much for the rose. All right, so we got to burn this off. I have a couple orders I need to fill, so I got to get that done. Oops. So now we got the icicle. Now the red will come into play later. Okay, on TikTok, I appreciate hanging with you guys, but I do have to log TikTok off because YouTube doesn't censor as much. So I'll be on YouTube if you want to join me there, and I will see you all in just a little bit. If not, YouTube, just hang in there. Okay, come on, Bluetooth. All right, give me 1 second. Got to log off TikTok. Okay. Sorry, YouTube. I'll be there in just 1 second. Got a billion messages scrolling through my TikTok at the moment. Okay. Just have to set this up this way. Good. All right. So we are going to be making glow-in-the-dark glass pipe. Get my tools out that I need. No, I moved them. Sorry. What's the gas you use for a torch? Oxygen and propane. How much for a ghosty? Ghosts are $19.95 and $14.95. I'll click a link in the chat. What's up, Lucky Lex? All right, so we're making glow-in-the-dark glass pipe. Can't do that on TikTok. They pretty much frown upon that. So we don't want to have that. Let's do it. Right there. What's up, L to the B? How are you? Can I make a Sherlock? I do. But right now I'm filling orders that I currently have for other items. How much are the pipes? God, I can't remember every single price of everything, unfortunately. If you want to find this particular product, it is glowpipes, glowpipes.com. glowpipes.com. Pretty simple to remember, because everything I do glows in the dark. Bring this down. That. Pieces and parts everywhere. I really have to clean my bench tonight. Later. It's a mess. What's up from TikTok? How you guys doing? Thank you for joining me from TikTok. I appreciate all of you. All right, here we go. We're going to take this and we're going to pop a little hole into the end. Like that. Open it up, little whistler. Then we got to preheat the tube. Got to preheat it before we put all the glow in there. No, I don't do the Prince Rupert's drops. I think they're pretty dangerous, to be honest. What's up, Mike? How are you doing? Yeah, the Prince Rupert's drops are super dangerous. If a kid gets a hold of it and explodes and the glass shards get in their eye, bad. You have to leave? No problem. Glad you were here. Thank you for joining us. All right, here we go. So we're going to add in the glow. It's my favorite creation. Honestly, whatever someone's willing to purchase. Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome that if someone's willing to spend their money on something that I've made, that's a pretty cool compliment. So that becomes my favorite piece. How long have I been doing this? 31 years. All right, so there, a little bit of glow. I just have to add a little bit more in here. There's a little gap of color right there. What's up, Greg? How are you doing? Do I have a site? Yep. So all of my ornaments and cremation stuff and all that is located here. And then item I'm making now is glow pipes, glowpipes, glowpipes.com. Yeah, my bench is a total mess. So we got all the glow in there. It's on the inside. We're going to take this, we're going to seal up the end. Just bring it down. Nice and simple. Now we got the end all sealed off. We can add a punty and we can start making this thing. So punty rod. So this one in particular has a corkscrew through the middle of it. So it's going to have a corkscrew running through the inside. But before I do that, I got to straighten this out. It's a little crooked. If the piece is crooked to start with, then the corkscrew is going to be crooked, and that's not good. How many dollars a minute to run the torch? I don't know. It's not that much. Not per minute. Let's say about $10 to $15 an hour to run it, depending on how big a flame you're using. That's really the key, is how big a flame are you going for. All right, let's get that corkscrew going. Little puff of air. Make sure the airflow is good. So now you can hopefully see that corkscrew going through there. I don't know if you can see it or not. It'll show up later. I'll show you a little better version, better look at it. Now we're going to do the back half. Essentially what would be the mouthpiece. Just let gravity do 99% of the work. Puff of air. Keep it open. Hoping you can kind of see that corkscrew running through it. It's hard with this camera. Oh, thank you. I appreciate all the subs. I appreciate every single subscriber. Ask anybody that's on here from TikTok. I always appreciate subscribers. I appreciate all of you. It's a big deal. It really is. All right, so I got to pull a little bit of this nubby off on the end. It's too much glass at the end. All right, so I can kind of bring it up here. You can start to see that corkscrew in the middle, like that. Thank you, Michael. What's up, Charmed? How are you? And then we're gonna do the bowl. Sorry, this is taking a bit. Normally these only take me like 6-7 minutes, but I'm kind of yapping through it. Takes a little while longer when I start showing sections. Find the perfect spot. Try and line it up with the corkscrew where there's the most turns at the top. I'll finish it in just a little bit, but right now I have to bring it in. I'm going to park it in the kiln because the back end got a little cold. So this section got a little cold. I'll pop it in the kiln, warm that section back up, and then come back to it and finish that off. I'll do a second one there. You just subscribed tonight? That's awesome, Doug. Appreciate it. Wanting to get into the craft? If you're wanting to get into it, I would absolutely do what's called an experience. Meaning go out there and find someone near you that does this and just ask them to pay them for like a couple hours of their time. And see if you like working around the flame. 100%. Before you invest a whole lot of money. See if you like being around the fire. And then once you figure out that you do, it's about $2,500 to $3,000 for your basic setup. And then don't forget about monthly costs. You're going to have oxygen, propane, and all that fun stuff. Make sure it's a minimum $300 a month. All right, I got to pull this off. Don't blow up. These ends like to kind of shatter at times. That's why I have this here. Just in case it wants to get nasty on me. Oxygen can run a little bit, depending on your area. Yeah, of course. If you have trouble finding a person near your location, let me know. I'm doing good. What's happening? So we're going to pull this big chunk off here. Don't need all that scrap glass. We're going to do a little ASMR right now. Ready? Although I don't know if you could hear that. I put a different microphone up today. I don't know how the sound's coming through. What's up, Rock Hounding? I've tried 3 different mics for the past 3 nights. Trying to see which microphone comes out the best. Yeah, I don't do any Prince Rupert's drops. And am I blind? Yep, I sure am. What's up? Thank you, Amy. So we're gonna pop this open. Sounds a little muted. Okay. I do want the feedback, 100%. Yeah. I definitely want the feedback on the sound. I'm trying to get it perfected. No torch sound? Oh, I could fix that. Let me fix that. Sound like Scotty on Star Trek. I can fix that. How's that? Nope, really? Wow. NVIDIA Broadcast is doing a good job then. All right, let's get the glow-in-the-dark glass in there. More power, Scotty. That's right. Well, this is a shotgun mic. So last night I was using a big condenser mic, a large condenser, and then the night before I was using my Rode wireless. So what's the glow powder called? Technically it's called BoroGlow, but North Star Glass will be selling it very, very, very soon, anytime now. And I don't know what they're going to call it yet, but they will have it. They will be releasing it very soon. And it's the same thing I'm using right now. It's a glow-in-the-dark glass. It's in a powder form. And the reason I love powder is because you can spread it evenly. Can you imagine trying to stripe this with glass rods all the way down? It would be insanely time consuming and you'd get streaks. So this way it allows me to spread it evenly. Now I gotta add mods and stuff in here. I definitely gotta add some mods. Have you and Dragonfly. Yeah, of course I love answering questions. If I can answer it, I will. This is 31 years full time, but I grew up with it. So for me, it's been a little different experience because I did grow up with it. I had a distinct advantage learning where to get glass, where to go for stuff, and how to start. So my mom started when I was 2. Yep, my mom. All right, so we're going to add a corkscrew in here. So whenever I make, especially the glass pipes, when I have an order for one, I always make a backup. 2 reasons. One, for some reason, every time one particular style sells, the next day another one exactly the same sells. It's like it kicks out a algorithm or something to push it. But 2, if one of them cracks on accident or has a flaw, I don't want to delay shipping, so I just go ahead and make 2, and if one of them's got a flaw, I'm not delaying the shipping at all. The customer doesn't have to wait. And that's why I make 2. Make sure there's a good airway in there. All right, so there's the corkscrew in the middle, little tiny corkscrew. I don't have any opinion on them. I don't know enough about their glass. I don't follow the scene anymore. I dropped out of that scene probably 2006. I stopped focusing on it. For a while, I had one of the largest pipe manufacturing facilities in the nation. I sold exclusively to a company called The Crush. And they bought every single glow-in-the-dark glass pipe I could produce, and then I ended up hiring other glass blowers, ended up with total of about 40 at one point. And then Operation Pipe Dreams happened and I shut it down. I didn't get in trouble, but I sure as hell wasn't gonna get in trouble. But now I just make them on my own for fun. Keep the glow alive, right? You can order a Sherlock, yeah, Patrick. Just message me on glow pipes. I don't know if we got Sherlocks back up on glow pipes yet, but yeah, we full glow in the dark Sherlocks. Might be on Etsy too under glow pipes. But glowpipes.com, GLOWPIPES, is me. I actually created the borosilicate or Pyrex version of glow in the dark. And that's why North Star will be carrying it very soon. Because I've known Abe for almost 30 years now. And we made a deal. He's going to carry the glow. Didn't see what? Yeah, we got screwed. GoDaddy made us change our website. They said, "Oh, we're no longer servicing your website. You have to build a new one, or you can use our AI version." And we're like, "Hell no!" So we moved over from GoDaddy to Shopify, and so we're still having to implement the items in there. Etsy may have it too. We're under glow pipes on Etsy too. I don't remember how much they are. I can't remember all the prices on everything. Yeah, it was completely messed up what they did to us on that. I was not happy. And it was funny because they had just charged us for our yearly subscription to GoDaddy. I almost say GlowDaddy. And then they send us a message a month later. "Oh yeah, we're discontinuing." Luckily, I got a refund. But yeah, I shifted everything over to Shopify after that. So it's going to take a minute to get everything re-implemented in because nothing was saved. You couldn't just transfer it over. It sucked. Glowpipes.com. And then I have one for everything else. Non-smoking accessories. Which is Starry Night Glass Art, and we do have an Etsy for that as well. I'll link it in the chat. So there is the corkscrew version. Again, the end got cooled off here, but I can come back to the one I did previously, park that one in the kiln, and finish this one off. Yep, just glue into it to make a card. Super simple. These are like the most basic thing on earth to make. I can train anybody to make this thing in a day. Maybe not exactly glow in the dark, but I can teach you to make a pipe in one day if you have any glass experience whatsoever. These are not hard. So easy a caveman can do it. Where's the mic? Right there. It's off. to the side. Now, glow-in-the-dark color is very limited right now. I don't have a lot of options at the moment. I'll be implementing them as I get down the road with it, but trying to put everything together is not fun. I can make the glass pretty fast. I can't do the website that fast. That's the problem. The website sucks, but doing that. All right, so let's try some mic tests real quick. I'm sorry to bug y'all. We're going to try some mic tests. We're going to try a couple different ones. We'll see what appeals. I'm going to leave the torch kind of hissing, so we're going to try that. We're going to switch microphones over right now, and we're going to go to another version right here. Okay, so this is a totally different microphone. Mic test, yep, 1, 2, Joe Dirt, that's right. I'm going to undo the shotgun mic. Plug it into this cardioid down here. There. Other one's better. All right, we're going to go to this one here. We're going to go back to this. Okay, so this is the third choice at the moment. So this is a whole different one right here. You can hear the torch better on this? Yeah, this one's actually a really good mic. Ever make anything with uranium? Yeah, absolutely. Do a lot of uranium. 100%. Turn the video just a little bit. This one. Yeah, this is a good mic right here. I can't believe how cheap this mic is, but absolutely a tank of a microphone, which was crazy. Puffco top? No, I don't do any. This one? Yeah, this is this microphone I got on Amazon. It is so freaking cheap, but I think they messed up the price. I honest to God do. It is an amazing microphone. I really think they messed up the price. It should not be $49. All right, so we're going to finish the second pipe right now. I let it heat up in the kiln a little bit. This one, okay, yeah, this one I'm happy because this mic, this is the cheapest of those three mics. This is the least expensive one. Which was odd. I looked up reviews on it, and when it first came out, it was like $300. And right now it's $49. I liked it so much I bought a second one for my studio setup in-house. Yeah, it's fantastic. Especially if you get really close to it. If you get close, it sounds amazing. Yeah. Yeah, you can hear a little bit of the sizzle in this. I like having a little bit of the torch sound in the background. I think it's nice. All right, there is the glow-in-the-dark with the corkscrew in it. Yeah, I think look, I'd like to create a like 30-second ASMR type video. I'll see if you can pick up the sizzle sounds. Hold on. We'll do a sizzle test. Let's see if we can get a sizzle test here. A little ASMR. Have I heard of Steve Bates? Of course. Here we go. We're going to try the sizzle. See if you can hear the sizzle. We're going to try it. I don't know if you heard the sizzle. Good? Okay. I got NVIDIA broadcast on too much then. I am filtering it through NVIDIA broadcast. I'll show you what NVIDIA does. It's pretty amazing. I'll pull this a little bit off. So this is no filtering here. So that is no filter. That is strictly raw microphone right there. And it picks up everything. No filter isn't bad at all. All right, we'll try a sizzle without the filter. Let's see. We'll try one. Let's have some fun. Yeah, I can mute the music too. Let's see if we can do that. We'll pause the music for just a second. All right, so we'll heat this up. What's up? Hi, Steffi Mouse. Steffi Mouse is the mouth. Steffi Mouse in the house making everything go around. All right, let's try a little sizzle here. So there is absolutely no filtering on the microphone right now. And we're going to come through and we're going to see if we can get the sizzle in here. You guys like the no filter? Seriously? Wow. All right, here we go. We're going to try a sizzle test. Yeah, we're just trying to go back to the filter. I do like the filter, I think. Let's go. So we're going to put the filter back on. And there we go. All right, it's a little loud. I was going to do ASMR just for like 1 minute on its own. Very crackly. Yeah. I'm going to add a little bit of music back in. Yeah, it can definitely get a little wacky. My last option is this one. So we'll go here. I think this is the one I'm ultimately going to go with, but with a lavalier. So this will give me the lavalier sound. Voice is still pretty well, yeah. This one will definitely pick it up a little bit. Better, yeah. I like this one too. Yeah, this is the wireless. Yeah, the filter definitely helped. That's the NVIDIA broadcast. It's pretty awesome, actually. Trying to find someone to make a custom steamroller. If you can't, Finley, oh, gotcha. If you can't find anybody, I can definitely find you someone. Yeah, this is Wireless Go. It's just this little wireless one. Put the lavalier mic on and it's good to go. So I appreciate y'all participating in that. That's amazing. I know, right? Have to go back. Something weird happened. Yeah, it's probably getting a little interference. I got 3 or 4 microphones going through here. So, yeah, I'll rewatch it. Anyway, I do need to take a break. It's been a couple hours, 2.5 hours I've been streaming. So I need to take a break for a little bit. My butt hurts. I've been sitting. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Hit the subscribe button. I love live streaming. You all make it so much better. Live streaming with all of you is amazing. I appreciate all of you so much. And I will talk to you later. Have a good night.